Whoa. There we go. What is going on, everyone? This is another edition of the Boyz Corner on the BGN Sports Media Network. This is the Cowboys takeover right now. For the first time, we have it streaming directly on Cowboys Corner's channel. Finally glad you're able to get on there. So now we have your stuff streaming directly. Everyone's stuff is in the description. My stuff, Cowboys Corner stuff. I've even got Simus' stuff in there. Hopefully he comes in when he comes in. Last week we took a little bit of a break. I had some work stuff going on. I wasn't feeling well. But now I'm back. I'm rejuvenated. And we got 2 weeks of Cowboys stuff to be talking about. There's been a few things going on. A couple things going on here. I've heard of the Devontae Parker, trying to get him. I don't know what the Cowboys may have been trying to give up. I heard today that Brandon Brooks, they were interested in him. Cooks. There you go, Brandon Cooks. Trying to get him in. I don't know what they offered or if they offered anything or if they were doing their due diligence. But from what I saw lately, he signed back with the Houston Texans.
Yeah. No, Cowboys, they'll do their due diligence. What's up, Soup Trap? Thanks for coming in here. Eshawn, what's going on? My daughters are watching also. Hope all you guys are well. But no, Eshawn, yep. So no, Cowboys, they just like to put their names in things, knowing that they ain't gonna do anything. We talked about Bobby Wagner here on the first couple of shows, and I was like, guys, stop with former Legion of Boom players. It's not going to happen. It hasn't worked with Earl Thomas. It didn't work with Richard Sherman. It's not going to work with Bobby Wagner. The Cowboys, they draft and they draft and they draft, and they draft well. Mike McCarthy has, in 2 years, has drafted really good players.
Yes.
And 1 out of 19 players isn't here, and it was the Robinson kid. But for the most part, under Mike McCarthy, Will McClay, these guys working together. Mike McCarthy knows how to draft. The stats are there, and it's just a matter of time that this draft that they're just going to get even better. I love you too, Princess.
You made great points. I was thinking about some stuff this week because we've all seen it. Cowboy fans want that big name signing, right? That's what they want. They want to overpay for this big guy, this big name, but then when it doesn't work out, they want to talk crap, I guess, if you will. But on the same token, they want to sit there and say, we believe in Will McClay. We believe in building through the draft. And I was talking to X Factor the other day, and he was talking about how Bobby Wagner, he sent me some stuff, and he was talking about how Bobby Wagner wanted to be a Cowboy. There was interest there, but the money situation wasn't there from what I took to it. And I was trying to explain to him, because he was telling me, you have to bring in these big names. It's not just building to the draft. And I said, well, no. Even though basketball is different from baseball, from football, you still got to build your team. Look at the Spurs, what they did. They built through the draft, and they brought in key role players. And I think that's what the Cowboys are doing. They're trying to believe in themselves, believe in their drafting, and then bring in those key role players at a decent price.
No, you're absolutely right. And, Nick Eatman said on the DallasCowboy.com radio show, go all in. You see how bad the NFC East is. You're going in here, top 3 in the NFC. Go all in. Go get you Von Miller. Go get you Bobby Wagner. But the Cowboys, they know how weak the division is, so they do bare minimum because they know if they win the division, they're in the playoffs. They don't have to compete with any NFC team because they're in the NFC least, right? So they don't got to go make big bucks and big dollars and do this and do that and show flashy signings because this is a horrible division. You look at what the AFC West did with Patrick Mahomes. They know they got to go beat Patrick Mahomes. Look how much The Broncos got better. The Raiders got better. Hell, even the Chargers got better. Why? Because they know they got Patrick Mahomes over there. If the NFC East had any competition, the Cowboys would do a lot more, but they don't. I mean, you look at all the competitive conferences, right? The NFC West with the Saints and the Drew Brees, and they had Matt Ryan there, and the Panthers and Cam, right? Panthers built this team to beat Drew Brees to get him to the Super Bowl. They lost against the Broncos, but they knew they had competition. Yeah. Right now in the NFC East, there's no competition, so the Cowboys do bare minimum because they got nobody breathing down their back.
We are the NFC least for a reason, and you're right. It's just worrisome that every so often one of the other teams. I mean, we haven't had a repeat division winner since 03, 04. Right. So, I mean, I get it that we are not. We're doing the bare minimum just to get by within the division, but at the same time, it's like, wouldn't you want to do more to ensure your team gets that divisional win?
Exactly. No, it's the Brandon Carr philosophy. Brandon Carr was the last free agent signing. They signed long term. It was a 5-year, $12 million deal. He was healthy all 5 years, but the production for $12 million a year for cornerback was a staple, 10 years ago, but it's not anymore. It's a lot more money now. And because of Brandon Carr, Stephen Jones is scared to dip into free agency and rely on the draft. Jason Garrett, over the last couple of years, had some really bad drafts. Mike McCarthy, just in 2 years, has solidified some draft picks from round 1 to round 7. So this year, coming up this month, it's going to be interesting to see how Mike McCarthy drafts. And don't be surprised if a wide receiver and not an offensive lineman is taken first.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been hearing that talk, but at the same time, I'm wanting this offensive line to be taken. But without further ado, guys, we do have a legend in the building. We have Simus Says in here to grace us with his presence whenever he unmutes his mic. There he is. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
We're doing great, man. We both appreciate you taking your time out of your day to come on here and talk with us about some Cowboys football and put your 2 cents on what's going down as far as this offseason goes and what you expect moving forward.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be probably not what you think, but I mean, I always got to warn people that I got a little potty mouth, so I'll try to control it because this is not my channel, but
yeah, no.
I'll definitely give my 2 cents, and I'll try to keep it as PG as possible, fellas.
No, you're good. I mean, this is both of our channels. This is both of our show. I'm not one for keeping my mouth clean, so we all know who you are and how you are. So you do you, man.
All right. Well, let's go. First topic. What we talking about?
What do you think of this? The off season so far? Because I know you're more about. I guess you could say. The front office it is what it is, but you're good with what's going on right now.
Love it.
From what I've seen.
Love it. Yes, you're right. I love it. I have no complaints about anything. I think that I think the majority. This is why I always talk about that 80-20. I think the majority of Cowboy Nation is just they're traumatized from that wild card loss. A lot of the guys that are gone should have been gone. If you really look at it, the only one that I still scratch my head about is Lyle Collins. But if you look at the last few years, the suspensions, you look at things like that. Randy Gregory, hey, good luck. I'll miss him. But I can't sit here and say I was a fan when he first came, when we first drafted him. I was just talking to, I mentioned this on my live. Him and Shane Ray were red flags because of the marijuana usage. So, as it went on, we've been holding this kid's hand. Good luck to him. I wish him no ill. I wish him no ill will at all. I want it to work out, but I'm a draft guy. I think a lot of these problems will be fixed in the draft.
Yeah, no. I 100% agree because I'm on that part with I believe in Will McClay as far as drafting goes and Mike
Right.
McCarthy and what he's doing. So I'm not there with what you just said with the 20%, the 80% as far as that 80% goes where I want to get that big name signing because it is a big name. I don't want to do that. That's not me. That's never what I've been about as far as other sports go, because like I was talking to Cowboys Corner with my team, the Spurs, they brought in key role players at a good price and they built their team through the draft. And I mean, we got 5 championships, and I know it's a different sport, but still you built your team through the draft and it's your team. You're not overpaying for those big names.
Right. And it's just even now that I keep hearing, it's just every free agent is rumored to be with the Cowboys. A lot of Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys not looking at no free agent. We are a few weeks away from the draft. They're looking at the draft. It's a nice smoke screen, though. It is. I laugh so hard. What's his name down there in Houston? They're looking at him. They allegedly reports.
Yeah.
They're not looking at him. Great smoke screen. Excellent smoke screen. That's what our front office, they're known for working the media. And they're known for pimping the fan base. And the fan base, instead of looking at it, they instead of looking through the smoke screen, they're just, oh, whatever you say. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get this guy. We don't want a team loaded full of free agent journeyman ego heads from other teams. The team is dead. You get these guys, you groom your guys, you get these guys, you get these prospects, bring them in, groom them. They're okay, some work out, some work fine. Listen, we got to see what potential Gregory had when he was controlled, when they did a little lightweight legalization of marijuana within the NFL. We got to see him. We did. Then you go on the other side of the draft where I don't know why we even drafted Tristan Hill. I don't even know. That was a waste of space. Guys like Connor, it was like there was just some guys, we pulled the trigger on some guys that I did not like. You've seen it coming, didn't like. But there are some guys that I absolutely liked, that we loved, actually, that we drafted. And I think this draft is just, we can fix a lot of these problems with the draft. I mean, I don't look at the flavor of the month or what this guy could be, or this guy ran a 4.2. No, I don't care about that. I've always looked at the draft of what I seen during the season that we could use with the Cowboys. I don't give a damn what Mel Kiper or I hate mock drafts. I know people get mad at me because I always say, if you got too many mock drafts, you don't do that. Like, I'm not going to call you stupid, but I think don't mock drafts. You're not looking at the team. Why do you need a mock draft if you know what the problem is with the team? You guys have heard me for over 5+ years say, get a safety. Oh, we need a safety. Got to get a safety. Oh, we need a safety. Oh, we got to get a safety. This is why they got re-signed Malik Hooker. This is why they re-signed oh my God, I can't believe Curse.
J-Ron Curse.
Yeah, J-Ron Curse. It's like somebody in the front office went, all right, you're right. We do need a safety. Like, it'll work with a safety. And of course, we still got my guy Donovan Wilson. So, okay, that thing, I've moved on now. Like, you got a guy that I love out of college. Curse is working well. You still got Donovan Wilson. So I'm fine. I think that as much as I want to replace Tyron Smith, it's at least time for them to get some kind of line help. I'm a Trevor Penning fan, absolute fan. I want us to bring in Trevor Penning so bad. I don't care about tape. I know what I've looked at when it comes to performance. And I know they won't do it because I believe they're going to get that, what is it, Treylon Burks? I think that's his name, out of
Arkansas.
Yeah. I believe that's where they're going. He's an Arkansas kid. Jerry, you know how Jerry is with Arkansas. You know, Steven, you know how those boys are at Arkansas. This is how we ended up with Felix Jones. When Darren McFadden was a free agent, if they get a chance to get the Razorbacks, they're going to bring him in. And that kid right there, I'm not saying he's a number one, but I know one thing. You can fit him in between CD Gallup, James Washington, and Sime. I mean, he's better than Sime Fahiko. As much as I like Sime, he's better than him. So that's a good punch. We still got to wait for Gallup. They've already said Gallup's not going to be ready. Okay, we know Gallup's going to be on the pup. James Washington is super inconsistent. So if you go get a guy like that, match him up with CD, it'll mask over the flaws of James Washington. And while we wait for Gallup to get back, and we don't know, honestly, as much as I like Sime out of Stanford, we don't know if that's the guy out of Stanford or a guy that's been on the bench in the practice squad and just another Cowboys cheerleader that we just will never see full potential of.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just
No, you're good. So what you're saying is that you're expecting this team to go wide receiver in the first round.
Oh, definitely. I don't want it. I don't want it. But this organization, they'll call it best player available, but it ain't. It's favoritism. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good guy from a college that you got heavy connections with. You're gonna bring him in. When I seen this kid was ready to go, I was like, that is the Cowboy. As much as we need, it'd be great to get a left guard. It'd be great to get another offensive left tackle or right tackle. Since we don't know, we haven't seen Terrence Steele play a whole season. We don't know that guy with Josh Ball. We don't know what he has. There are some guys. There's even another guy. I'm in love with a kid named Daniel Felihe. And I wish we could bring him in 6'9", damn near 390, can move, kind of Frankensteinish, but the guy got power. I wish we could bring him in. But I know that's not what they're going to be looking at. The first thing they got on that board, and it ain't that Chris Ovahe kid. I know everybody, no, we won't get him. He'll be gone. It's that kid from Arkansas. I've been saying it. I felt this. The connection is there. I believe the draft is fixed anyway. That's just my opinion. Like they are 2 weeks before the draft, they know who they're gonna get. It's him. They'll bring him in, they'll fit him in. This is why the smoke screen is there. They're pretty much telling you, yeah, we're looking at a wide receiver, but it ain't who you think. But we are looking at a wide receiver, but it's not who you think. And remember the kid that just went to New England, I think it was. What did they say as soon as he got the job with New England? Well, the Cowboys was looking at him too. So you can already kind of see that they're telling you, yeah, we're looking at a wide receiver, but you go over here and look at the free agent list. We're not even thinking about that. We're over here looking at the draft. This draft is loaded of wide receivers. Some of these guys are going to drop. Some of these guys that would be top 15, they're going to drop into the 20th spot. And who knows? No one didn't say Dallas couldn't make a move and move up. But it's him. It's that kid from Arkansas. I believe it in my heart.
No, I think Simus makes a good point. Like I said earlier, I don't think Cowboys want offensive lineman. I want offensive lineman. But you look at the 30-man visits. Chris Olave or however you say his name, Traylon Burks. And you look at the offensive lineman they're bringing in that could potentially fall to 2. I think they get their wide receiver there. They've been shopping for it, right? Devontae Parker, latest of Brandon Cooks, who just re-signed with the Texans. So you look at their moves. They've only signed last year. They went on a shopping spree. It was low budget, but you look at the guys they brought back, as Simus said. By the way, what's up, Simus?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, much respect. Bell money, right? But that's throwback if you don't know. That's throwback if you don't know.
Yeah.
But no, you look at they've only signed 2. They've signed their own. They said what they were going to do. James Washington, Dante Fowler is the 2 externals they've signed. That's it. So you look at their position and what they want to do. They redone D-Law. They try to get Randy Gregory here, the language, whatever. El Paso, the Michael Irvin story did it with Randy Gregory, whatever. Then you look at, J-Ron Curse and you look at Malik Hooker, right? So you kind of see the pattern where they want to go. There was some offensive linemen they could have kept. They let Connor Williams go. They let Amari Cooper get traded. They let Lyle. They cut Lyle, which Lyle didn't make a really good impression on Mike McCarthy. Let's be real. We had the overweight issue. We had the wreck. We had the hip surgery. Then we had the bribing a drug tester in the NFL. Right. So Lyle Collins didn't make a real good impression on Mike McCarthy. He was sour off rip, right? So that's why Lyle Collins is gone, because the Mike McCarthy thing and Lyle Collins thing didn't work out. Then, so you look, they didn't sign any offensive linemen. They try to target some wide receivers. So do they have an offensive lineman graded higher than a wide receiver because of what their strategies are? As Simon said, it could just be smoke screens. Dante Fowler, that's not a replacement. They really wanted to keep Randy Gregory, but the El Paso thing. And so you look at it, linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end, offensive line. They bring in a lot of tight ends on that 30-man visit also. So they're going to be drafting the tight end. And so you kind of look how things are shaping. You can almost predict the position as the draft goes on. And it's going to be real interesting to see what happens at the end of April and how they mold that draft together. But I'm very confident in Mike McCarthy, because the last 2 years they stole CeeDee Lamb, they stole Diggs, they stole Parsons, Bossman Fat, right? So they're getting things right, and they're hitting on these first, second, third, fourth rounders. And if you can hit on the 5, 6, 7 guys, you're really good at drafting. And Simi Fehoko, late round, Makwamu, all these guys, they still got to come up. Matt Forniak, Josh Ball on the offense side of the ball. So they're protecting themselves. They don't got to overpay. Look what the Giants did 5 years ago. $200 million defense. Didn't do them shit.
And let's not. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Simus.
And let's not forget the Cowboys. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a lifelong Cowboy fan, but one thing that the Cowboys hit on is the UFA class. They hit. They hit grand slams. I mean, Tony Romo,
Miles Austin, Cole Beasley.
Exactly. They hit.
Barry Church.
Exactly. They will hit. I mean, let's go back to Drew Pearson. They hit. This organization can hit on UFAs. So I just think in my heart, as much as I would love for them to go lineman, I don't give a damn whether it's left tackle, right tackle, left guard. I don't care. As much as I love for them to do it, this Burks kid, and I was having a discussion with a friend of mine earlier, and he was like, who does he remind you of? We were just, he already knew what he was going to say. And just looking at him and thinking about him, I'm like, you know what? Remind me of Dez. And I was like, that's why they like him. He's an Arkansas kid that reminds them of Dez. 6'2", good hand, great hands. The kid got great hands.
Sure,
he battles for. He comes down with the 50-50 ball. A lot of him does remind me of Dez Bryant, without the headache, without the saggy jeans, without throwing the hat at the mom, without the ego, without none of that. So he does remind me of Dez Bryant. And for a minute there, Dak and Dez was starting to build that relationship up. That rapport was happening. And I know that they didn't rub people the wrong way. And you could tell. You're not getting rid of that kind of talent for a 5th-round pick. He rubbed people the wrong way. And it was like, all right, you got to go. And they're going to get guys that are younger, that'll listen to the leader in Dak Prescott. And that's their guy. I believe it'll be the Treylon Burks kid. I believe it in my heart. I'm not saying, it's a guarantee, but you can kind of see what they're doing. They've used the wide receiver free agency smokescreen. This is it. We're weeks away from the draft now. This is not February or March or something. We're pretty much days away from the draft, and they're going to have their guy. And to make sure they got their guy, they might even move up just a little bit just to make sure they got their guy. And, of course, you'll hear Jerry taking all the glory from Will McClay. Oh, this is the guy we wanted. I'm quite sure when he came down there, and they've already told him, look, we want you. We want to get you. If you interview 6 people, you're going to tell them, you got potential to work for us. We really like what you do. We really like what you bring. You could bring to our organization. But there's always that one guy that, man, look, when it's your time, if you're there, we'll get you. And I believe it's him. I do. And as much as I disagree with it, I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I just think that we should be trying to fix that line. You gave our $100 million quarterback needs reinforcements on that line. But I think that Dallas hits real good between the second and the fifth. You have a few fifth-round picks. I just think that they're going to hold out so they can get their guy.
No, I think you're right. And, you say Traylon Burks reminds you of Des Bryant. Cowboys got the 24th pick in the first round. Simus, remind these folks who was the last person to be 24th overall in the first round picked.
Des Bryant.
And who does Traylon Burks remind you of?
Des Bryant.
Can history?
And I want to say this. I'm not just saying it because I want Des Bryant. No, I'm not. I want to say this. These corner Boyz4Life, no, I don't dick ride like that. I don't do that. No, that's a no. No, I don't do that. It's just I know what this organization wants. They going to 88 without an 88. You already got an 88, but now you're going to get a guy that play like an 88. He plays like an 88. You might, and listen, let's not stop this a little bit. Dallas, this organization, they do circus shit. Everybody knows that. Dallas Cowboys is a Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey show. If this kid was to get drafted, I wouldn't be surprised. Remember, Lamb didn't want 88 to begin with. I wouldn't be surprised if Lamb go with the number he wanted and this kid become 88 because he plays like an 88. He plays like a Pearson. He plays like an Irvin. He plays like an Antonio Bryant. As much as people don't want to put Bryant in the 88 club, he plays like Antonio. Antonio had great hands out of University of Pittsburgh. This guy's he plays like Dez. He's hungry like Dez. He get those 50-50 balls like Dez. That's your 88. He might be an 88 without the number 88. Seriously.
If CeeDee Lamb changes his jersey number, I'm never buying a jersey again. Mark Cooper jersey, useless. Jalen Smith jersey, useless.
Yep.
Next year, my Ezekiel Elliott jersey gonna be useless. I got so many jerseys that are now useless. I got Parsons and I got Diggs. That's all I care about right now.
Yeah,
man. I got a jersey from Mike Mosh, a custom one, a 54 of Jalen Smith, and then 2 months later he changes it to number 9. I was like, man, what the hell, bro? Like, I can't wear this.
I'm leery with buying jerseys because they're inexpensive. I would tell anybody put a hole on the jerseys unless they're rookies or second-year players. There's going to be a few guys. Your job's on the line. You are literally playing for you. If you love being a Cowboy, this is your interview process. Yes, Ezekiel Elliott. This includes he's number 1 on the list. Tyron Smith, number 2 on the list. There's a lot of guys that are playing for their job because they probably will not be here next year. If there's inconsistencies, I don't give a damn if the O-line is mediocre when it comes to Zeke. I love Zeke. I don't want to see him leave. But understand, if they were to draft a running back or right now that was even gave a little bit of the gas Zeke got for cheap, Zeke's gone. You got Pollard, Zeke's gone. I said that when Pollard started scoring them damn kickoff returns and punt returns for touchdowns. I was like, this is a problem for Ezekiel Elliott, especially that Raider game. This is a problem for that man.
No, I think Cyrus is right. Zeke would not be on this football team today if he didn't count $18 million in dead money. Seriously, he's gone.
You're 100% right.
He's gone next year.
And it's all on that contract. It was a pretty. I mean, remind me of the numbers. It was like 90 mil over how many years?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty hefty contract, and for the production he's putting out. I mean, this year, he was the first 3 games, he was good. And then he had that MCL tear or that sprain that all of a sudden it all just came out at the end of the season. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we saw the line. It was a merry-go-round of people who was on the line. Like what we've been all talking about is, I mean, what y'all two have been talking about is it looks like the Cowboys are more than likely going wide receiver in the first round, but we all want the trenches to be filled. And I think for me, I'm such a huge Ezekiel Elliott fan that the offense still runs through him. I think that if we were able to get that offensive guard or tackle, because I know, Simus, you want the tackle, I think that if Zeke heals from his problem that he had this year, then I think we'd be good to go.
Brother, I am an Ezekiel Elliott fan. I love Zeke. I swear. Yeah. I know people have been doing this. Jalen Ramsey said this on the show, and I don't care. I was happy as hell when we got Zeke. I love Zeke on the Cowboys. Yeah. But just like you were saying about that merry-go-round line, I watched Tony Pollard work wonders with that line.
Yeah.
And that right there is a problem. When you got one guy that really was working well and your high-paid running back was inconsistent, fumbling, it's just as much as I hate to say it, his job is on the line. I hate saying it. I don't want him to go, but I understand how it works. His job is on the line.
Yeah, no, he's really important. Pass protection, chipping, being reliable, even with injuries. I mean, he had to topple his ass out of bounds a lot of the time, but he's been a good blanket for Dak. Zeke and Amari is why Dak is a $100 million quarterback, just because they cohese together and make a good unit. But Zeke, an average running back life expectancy for playing is 5 years. And you look at Zeke, he does good a couple of times here, a couple of times there, then he just falls off, even when healthy. Last year, he cracked 1,000 just by a little bit. He had an extra game this year, didn't crack it. But it's a shame on the Cowboys because all they had to do was rest Zeke for about 6 weeks. I think the injury happened week 3 or week 4. All they had to do was rest him, and he would have been good, a lot better than what he was towards the end of the year. But shame on the Cowboys for not resting him and putting him through that. And they probably did that on purpose to show decline production. So when they cut him, it's like, you didn't give us what we wanted when it came to production.
I agree. Same thing with Prescott. When you seen Cooper Rush go on the road, win a game, you should have rested it. After I had seen the way I had seen Zeke was limping in that Kansas City game, that was my first thought. All right, City, we're gonna need him for the postseason. You got Corey Clement, you got the other guy from Hard Knocks, you still got Tony Pollard, and you don't need Zeke right now. We need Zeke when it matters most. You're going to the playoffs. You got the division. Sit him down. Same thing with Romo. Romo. Oh my God. Same thing with Dak. I would have set him down. Made sure it was healthy. When we seen Dak in the pregame opener when he was out there just throwing the ball around against Minnesota, I was like, okay, that's progress. But then when you heard him say, no, I'm not going to play, and Cooper Rush got the win convincingly, mind you, and Amari Cooper's best game was with Cooper Rush. We can win games with him. So I was like, okay, this is great. This is going to work out. So we're going to get healthy going into the playoffs, something we all haven't experienced at all in the 2000s, where we always see the decline, which lead to the divisional round losses, where we're going to get healthy going into the playoffs. I was like, okay, this is on the coaching staff. This sucks. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it, and I can't rehash the past, but I hope this organization learned a lot from their mistakes. They lost a game. They lost a few games they had no business losing. They lost a wild card game that they lost from kickoff.
Yep.
I hope they've learned a lot from their mistakes. That's one thing. No matter who you bring in, you could have went and got OBJ. You could have went and got this guy. You could have kept Lyle Collins. You could have done this. You could have done that. You could have kept Randy Gregory. But have you learned from your mistakes? Because there were some games you had absolutely no business losing, including embarrassing that embarrassing home loss against your conference rival. That was horrible. And I had told people, I said the winner. I even said it in and I think it's Ruthless Sports. I said it in his stream. I said the thing about that game, the winner of that game, you're probably going to at least an NFC title game and look at the 49ers. Cowboys,
Yeah.
it could have been us. It could have been us, but Cowboys the organization get too big headed. They get too big headed, and the schedule is just. And I tell people, I don't do this. Oh, the schedule is light because the Dallas Cowboys, established 1960, has had a problem for over 20 years. They play down to their competition every time they play these fourth downs. This unnecessary going forward on these fourth downs. Just Dak Prescott just gets crazy on third down, and I'm just like, why do they always play down to their competition?
Unnecessary sacks.
Oh, and I'll say it here. And one thing I've repeated myself: I don't care if Dak Prescott is second guessing himself with that injury. Then you're not the guy for the job. As much as I love you, you're not a dual threat quarterback no more. But you're not a pocket quarterback. You are a dual threat quarterback. If you're
He's a bootleg quarterback.
Exactly. If you're questioning your ability now, you don't need to be here. Go get a guy. If you want to be a pocket quarterback, I prefer to go get a pocket quarterback. I know what we drafted out of the fourth round out of Mississippi State. You're slowly not being. You're not that guy no more. I don't want to hear about money because when you were doing Sleep Number and yogurt commercials, you were a dual threat quarterback. You're changing, and it sounds like to me it's a lot of second guessing behind that injury in 2020. That's not cool.
No, I think you're right on the head. And you talk about Cowboys learning from mistakes, Simus. And I'm sorry, Boyz4Life. I know you're not talking much. I do apologize.
No, it's fine. I love, like I said, you're my X's and O's guy. Simus is my know-it-all guy. I love listening to both of y'all talk right
So, learning from the mistakes, Connor Williams and Randy Gregory combined 50 penalties over the course of one season combined. Those guys are gone. Mike McCarthy beat his head on the wall trying to fix penalties, and a lot came from Randy Gregory and a lot came from Connor Williams. Some from Tyron Smith, yes, but the majority of those 50 penalties was Connor Williams and Randy Gregory. They're gone. Amari Cooper, not showing up on the road, not only showing up at home, inconsistent in his play. Are they learning from their mistakes? Lyle Collins, a distraction in the locker room, boneheaded decisions, and this, that, and the third. Lyle Collins is gone, right? So are they learning from their mistakes? Are they trying to get better? Are they building through the draft? I think they are. I'm not a big believer in Mike McCarthy by any means necessary. I don't know how you could brag about a Super Bowl on Hard Knocks every episode, and when you go into the playoffs with your new team, they're playing a speaker full of music and your guys coming out stale, and you admit to the press that they're a little bit nervous. Mike McCarthy, you're a trash head coach to me. You don't have your team ready. It shows me you're not you can lead men, but can you motivate men? You can teach a man how to do something, but can you get him excited to do it? Right? Mike McCarthy, in my opinion, can't do it. He can't do both. He could do one or the other, but he can't do both. So, and that's the flaw. So I think have Mike McCarthy here, get this draft build up because I love Mike McCarthy's 2 drafts. I'm probably going to love this 3rd draft under Mike McCarthy. Ship him out of here like they did John Fox. Get Gary Kubiak in here, and I put that in quotes. Get a coach in here like Gary Kubiak with the Broncos. Broncos did this. They got John Fox in there, built up this wonderful team, kicked them out of here. They won a Super Bowl. Get Mike McCarthy in here, build all these pieces together, get you a nice, motivated leader, head coach, energize the team, and go get you a Super Bowl. Period. So learning from mistakes, I really think they are, because if you look at the pieces and what they've moved and signed back, they signed back dogs. They drafted a dog in Micah Parsons. They got Jaron Kearse, who's just phenomenal. No one expected that, not me. Then you got Malik Hooker, who was a high talent, a lot of injury, pegged him, made some really good plays. So they're changing that mentality, that mindset, but it's been the same results, even with a 45% roster turnover and with Mike McCarthy, a 99.8% coaching turn since Mike McCarthy's been here, and we still got the same result in our first playoff game. But they're still building, they're still getting things done. And I like in the direction they're going. They're just one head coach away, I believe, in getting to a Super Bowl.
I agree. If Jerry stay the hell out of the way, which we know he won't. Bringing back Dan Quinn was key. It
Boom.
was it was key. Like to me, I hate and everyone who's watched me through the years know I have no problem telling the truth. Bringing that man back was key. If he wasn't here and we lost a lot of these pieces, I'd be like, okay, I don't see us doing too good this season. I could see them tanking for possibly Sean Payton and moving on and maybe just really honestly having a slow rebuild. But they got Quinn back. Everyone, I know a lot of people hate me. I think that we should give Kellen Moore. This is pretty much his last shot too. This is his last shot. This is Zeke's last shot. A lot of those guys know it. Tyron is almost out of the building, over the hill, on the verge of retirement. I just think that this team needs a piece here, a piece there. It's not as bad as what people think it is. Everything can be fixed in a few weeks if the front office in Frisco get the hell out of the way and let Will McClay work his magic in that damn war room. We're gonna be fine. I think come that Monday after the draft, we're gonna be pretty. We're all gonna smile, and I believe I'll trust him. I hated Bossman Fat. We grabbed Bossman Fat. I thought, oh my God, Calvin Joseph, really? But when I seen him play, I was like, oh shit, I think they got something. He almost had a pick six in the game.
Yeah.
And I was just impressed the way he was just on it. And I was like, okay, this kid, he's not on Twitter just running his mouth. He's actually living up to the hype. He's got something. You don't. I don't know what you kept Jordan Lewis. Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with J. Lou. I think J. Lou loved being here. You talk about a sleeper we got in the draft was J. Lou. I like him. Anthony Brown can go. I'm not a fan. I wanted him to go. Him and Connor Williams, they could have hold hands and walked out of the building together. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a fan. But I like the guys who were here. There are some guys that we can get in this draft. I'm still to this day wondering how the hell we got Jabril Cox. I don't know how the hell that happened.
He just kept falling.
Yeah, I was waiting for something like Jabril Cox was arrested. I'm still wondering how the hell we got Jabril Cox. I love it. Like, I think that injury was unfortunate. Him and Parsons, and even give my boy Leighton Vander a chance. I think that they got the right pieces. Get a few more pieces. You might find your unicorn, aka that war daddy that everyone's always wanted in this also. No one didn't think Diggy was gonna be this good. Diggy is great. You got guys, so go get a couple more pieces. You utilize those picks, be smart with those picks. We'll be fine. A young team. I can see us honestly having a pretty damn good year with the talent we got, and if you move right in the draft, you're gonna be fine.
No, I think you're right.
You're definitely NFC's champs. I mean, right now, I'm not even talking the season. No. Barring a major injury in camp, you what's today? Today's what? April 7th?
April 7th.
You're a fucking champ. Well, I can't even have that discussion. Barring a major injury, you already got your ticket punched to the playoffs now. Are you going to sit here and embarrass us again? Or are you going to make a good run to make us all proud to rep you guys? Maybe we'll go buy your single-digit jersey or your weird number jersey now, So come on, man, get it together.
Yeah, no, it's funny how I talk about a coach that can motivate players, get them energized and want to play. And then right after that, Simons brings up Dan Quinn. Do you all remember who was the head coach for the New Orleans Saints game? Yes, they had a bum quarterback. Yes, he had a hurt hand. But if you look how players responded to Dan Quinn on the sidelines, they wanted to play for him. They wanted to keep the gas pedal to the metal. Mike McCarthy, on the other hand, that probably would have been a close game, even with that quarterback Taysom Hill having a bum-ass hand. Why? Because he don't motivate the players. I would not be shy. A lot of people, Kellen Moore is going to be the next head coach. No. Dan Quinn is going to be the next head coach of this football team. I said it first.
No. I mean, that's what has been brought up. that they're gearing up for Dan Quinn in 2023. Whatever's going to happen with Mike McCarthy. I mean, I think it's a little weird how you're going to have a lame duck head coach. What we would say is, as far as going into the next season. But both of y'all, I think, are 100% right in what they're doing, trying to do to the draft, and what they're doing as far as bringing people in. If we were able to draft like what Simon was saying, these unicorns, these one or two guys that can help propel this team, but also drafting productive guys that can be plug in and play coming to the draft, I think we will be in good shape coming next year. If you plug in guys that will give you great production, but also have that one or two guys that will be a shining star, I think we only need a few players in certain positions, and that'll propel us to the next level.
I agree. I agree with you. The free agent thing, I'm just not a fan. I don't want a lot of egos. Too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. I think that's a very unnecessary thing. And in a social media era, it's a clickbait thing. It gives you something to talk about. I don't want the Honey Badger. I don't want that Brandon Cooks. I don't want none of these guys. I think that there's enough talent that we can get in the draft and we can be just fine. I don't want to bring in these egomaniacs and they mess with the chemistry of the team. Because that's one thing people don't understand. These guys come from other organizations, and people and I use the Honey Badger as an example. I have heard him ever since he was with the Cardinals take jabs at the Cowboys. Why the hell would you bring that kind of man into our organization? That's a cancer. He don't even like you. He's chasing a bag. He's trying to get the next check. He ain't nothing but an Earl Thomas. That's why Earl Thomas never got with another squad, because he's not about being a player anymore. He's about a check. And a lot of these guys that got in the free agent market, if you haven't noticed this season, it was very weird because a lot of these guys aren't about playing no more. A lot of these guys are about getting their last bag. I mean, that's why Von Miller went to Buffalo. He didn't go to Buffalo to try to win another title. He went to Buffalo because this is his last payday. This is why Dallas didn't grab him. At least that's my opinion. A lot of these guys, people get mad, and I would have loved Von because Von's a Cowboy fan since Texas A&M. That's when I first heard he was a Cowboys fan. But I don't want a guy that's going to come here to get a payday. If that's why they cut Amari Cooper, so be it. If that's why they let Lyle, I remember we got Lyle, the little country kid, innocent, smiling, happy, all about the team. Now, who's this big-ass clown with the Gucci shades, the tight pants? You don't even look the same. Your ego. You got on $100,000 watch now. You're Lyle the brand. I need players. The problem with these guys is our organization enables these guys. A lot of these guys are egomaniacs. They get to go into the city. Hi, I'm Lyle Collins. I play for the Cowboys. You're not even playing for a Super Bowl. I just feel like sometimes they go in the middle of AT&T Stadium and look up at the banner like they helped get 71, 77, 92, 93, 95. Like they helped Emmett become all-time leading rusher, or their name is somewhere around there in our hall or something like that. Like, no, bullshit. You got to earn the right with me to get your name called. And a lot of these guys are acting like we got 6. We still sitting on that 5 from 26 years ago. And that's always been the problem with these damn players. I don't give a damn from Quincy Carter to Chad Hutchinson to whoever, Felix Jones, Marion Barber, Miles Austin. Your ego, your damn ego. You lost your warrior spirit. There are no Dat Wins no more. There are no Dexter Coakleys no more. That's my problem. These guys have broke tradition of our organization. Those guys were warriors. They were warriors. They put it on the line for the Cowboys. We came up short. Even Tony Romo, as much as I did not like Tony Romo, at least you can say he put it on the line for the Cowboys. Jason Witten, he put it on the line for the Cowboys. These guys, they want a sleep number commercial. They want to be
7-Eleven commercial.
Exactly. They want to sell cars. They want a blue check next to their name. To say just to get good morning to get 20,000 retweets. No, I want guys that want to play. I want guys that want to win a Lombardi. I want to see another Lombardi. Some of you younger Cowboy fans, you've never seen it, and I want you guys to have that experience that I have seen a few times. I want that. This organization needs that. They treat us like we never won a Super Bowl. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I hate it.
No, I think you're right. Look at Baker Mayfield. I know he's not a Cowboy, but how many Cleveland stadiums did you see with him, all these commercials and stuff? They said, you know what, you're not playing good, you're out of here. We're getting Deshaun Watson. We're going to mortgage our draft picks. We're going to mortgage our salary cap. We're going to replace you because you're too busy with your ego in these stadiums. And he took a big crap last year with the Browns, right? We fast forwarded with the Cowboys. Sleep number beds, 7-Eleven commercials. They should have just stuck with Valley Ranch. They should have made these players humble. I get AT&T Stadium. I get it. But I've toured that Star in Frisco. I don't know if you guys have or not, but it's breathtaking. I don't care if you're a fan of the Cowboys or not. You walk in that building, you're going to be blown away.
Oh, I love it. I love going on Cowboys Way. I love it. I go there all the time when I come home. I love going into the pro shop. Even if I don't buy nothing, I love standing on the Star on Cowboys Way. Going to the restaurant. I've stayed at the Omni over there. It's just and I've said it even with people just standing out there. You know what? These guys, they come in their Rolls Royces and their Bugattis and all of this, and they act like they played with Hollywood Henderson. You didn't. You didn't get a ring. Stop acting like you got a ring and go get a ring. And don't let these free agents come in and go, ooh, I got jewelry. Maybe we can get it one day too. No, you don't need that. You want to build a bond with the guys that you got, and you guys go get that Lombardi, because if you guys do, you guys are gods there. You guys are gods. This isn't Massachusetts. This isn't California. This isn't Oklahoma. This is God's country when it comes to football. Are you serious?
It's Texas.
Exactly.
I'm
God
so glad,
in football. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad Simon said that. Juju Smith-Schuster was right beside Dak Prescott after they filmed a 7-Eleven commercial for the Super Bowl, and Juju said, "This play." They were at the practice facility where the high school Frisco high school plays, and he was like, "This thing's amazing." He goes, "We still got wooden benches in our locker rooms in Pittsburgh."
Right.
And look how many Super Bowls they've won since the Cowboys won their last one, because they spoil them.
Exactly.
They come into this organization thinking they've done something.
Right.
And then when they do a little bit and the fans react, they think they've done something when they haven't. When they actually haven't. I mean, I was too young to remember this, but just watching the history of the Cowboys, look at Emmett and what he did. He got this team to a Super Bowl, won back-to-back rushing titles, and then asked for the money. Not, I got what I got, let me get my money,
right,
and then I'm doing what I'm doing. No.
Holdouts weren't
got
even
this.
thought of,
He got this.
He held out for a little bit, but they were.
Yeah, he did, but he still got this team the Super Bowl, 2 rushing titles. Okay, I've earned it. Now let me hold out and let me get my money. And what did the rest of the team say? 2 games into it, when they're 0-2, you better go pay him. Pay him, go get this man.
Right.
We're not seeing this with anyone else. It's I got my stats, I want my money.
He earned it.
Forget the team. I got my stats. The league and the fans say I'm worth this much. Get me my money. And what happens? They get their money. without doing anything for the team. And then that's not the era any of us grew up in, or the train of thought any of us grew up in. And it sucks to see that you have the Ezekiel Elliott's, the Dak Prescott's, whoever,
right,
getting those big stats, but it's all for nothing. Because as fans, what are we looking at? Nothing. We're looking at these players, these players get their money at the expense of us, because we're out there buying the jerseys, we're out there paying for these tickets, we're out there doing everything, but as Cowboy fans, we're not getting nothing in return.
Right.
No,
so I had a weird, I used to say, and I can't, to you guys and to the audience, it'll probably be weird. And I used to always say all the time, I didn't mind Michael Irvin going to jail. I didn't mind Nate Newton going to jail. They did the job.
Eric Williams getting in that car.
Exactly. I did not mind the mayhem of the Shark. I didn't mind that. At one point in the 90s, even they said it in the old Americas game that used to come on the NFL Network. There were like people were making music videos and singing and had all these radio shows. You know what they were doing though? They were winning Lombardis.
And like the old saying goes, winning cures everything.
Everything. Exactly. Yeah. That's the truth. It's the absolute truth.
No, for sure. But I think that's it for the night, Simus. I do appreciate you joining the Boyz Corner. Any last words? Where can they find you? Things of that sort. Hit them with it.
Well, real easy. Just like it says right here, Simus Says on YouTube, of course. Find me there. And like I warn everybody, don't come over with me, because you can come over, but understand, there ain't – I don't Mark Holmes nobody. I tell the truth. I absolutely tell the truth in my own words, my own opinions. And to quote the great Dave Chappelle, better not bring your kids. You can look me up, Simus Says, over on YouTube, and I got you.
No, I've been following Simus for so long. He had Roman numerals, 1974 in his name. Yep. So big shout out to Simus.
I've been following Simus since what, 16, 17, around there is when I started getting introduced to Simus, when he was on the tail end of the TTC and I was just coming in. But I've been following Simus Says for a good while, and I love everything he says, and everything that this man says is pretty much truth of the Dallas Cowboys. And I appreciate this man coming in here and spending his time with us and giving us this hour on our show. And I appreciate you for coming on here, Simus.
And it's an honor being in this with some natives, not nation.
Yes, some natives. And Simus, for what it's worth, real quick, you were the first guest on the show for what it's worth. You were the very first one to be asked on here, and I appreciate you. I wanted to make a big splash with getting you on here because I know what you bring to the Cowboys as far as YouTube goes, and your opinion, and how everyone follows you, and what you bring here. And I appreciate you, and I'm honored to have you on here.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. I really do.
No, for sure. Yeah, and I feel the same way. I've been following Simus so long. If you were in his video and he played a 10 to 15 second clip and he said paused after it, you're going to get the best roasting you have ever gotten in your entire life. 1,000. As soon as he said pause, the microwave beeped. I got my popcorn bag out of there, and it's a 25-minute roast, and I'm loving every second of it. Yeah. Fortunately, I've never got to be part of that. So, must be doing something right, but
y'all cool.
But no, it's been good. Boyz4Life, appreciate it, and everybody in the comment. Craig English, Soup Trap, Teflon, Victor, Recto, Scotty. Appreciate everybody coming in here.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we're out of here.